buzz, for the cult following. I think it's deserving. It's well deserved on his part. I love him as a hitter. I'd like it if he didn't make quite so many outs early in counts on pitches that aren't the pitches he really wants to drive, because when he gets a pitch he wants to hit, he hits it hard. But, it's kind of like you have to take Eddie Rosario and his over-aggressiveness and not try to do a whole lot. Let him figure that out himself, because you can't tell a great aggressive hitter, don't be quite so aggressive. That's no good. And, Astudillo, I frankly think that Astudillo will make the club based on how they feel about his defense and where they would need the defense on a non-everyday basis. And I think that's going to be his biggest problem. I think he can play a lot of places. The question is, do they think that he's going to hit so much that it's worth having him play those places on a part-time role rather than the really good defensive player that won't hit quite as much as he does? That's going to be his biggest problem. I will just say, when all else is relatively equal, managers will always pick the better defensive guy. Mm-hmm. Always. All things being close to equal. Right. They're not always close to equal, but if they are, and that's what young players need to understand about, making sure that they are always getting better and better defensively, because there's going to be somebody that comes along, and if it's anywhere close offensively, the better defensive guy is going to play, or they're going to get platooned because they've got a opposite side hitter that's a really good defensive player, right? I mean, and you can't discount where defense fits in, and I think that's where the decision about Astudillo is going to be made.
A couple more questions from Shorzy. Pitchers, who should I be watching as the season begins? My vote would be Romero. He could be a really important swing pitcher. Also, Pineda
for sure. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. I think those two guys, as much as anybody else, are the real keys to the season being an awful lot better than we're projecting right now. And I think they're going to have a nice year. I really do. I think all the young players are going to be quite a bit better. I really do believe that. But if Pineda wins 12 to 15 games for them, if Romero is either comes up with a way to throw 3 pitches for strikes as a starter, or can throw 2 of them, fastball and breaking ball, as a reliever for strikes, that nasty stuff, it changes a lot of stuff for the Twins. It really does.
And she also asked how excited she should be about Jonathan Scope. Once again, looking at the numbers, he broke into baseball. His first couple of years were okay. 2015, 2016, he was a good hitter for a middle infielder. 2017, he was a good hitter, period. And then 2018, he slumped and apparently was playing with an injury once he got to Milwaukee. So I don't think you expect miracles. I think he can be a good, solid player who can hit the whole ball over the fence once in a while.
I agree with that assessment. I think that's exactly why they got him. I think it's a very low risk, higher potential reward signing that they made. It's a transition for play. He's a transition player for sure. There are 3 or 4 or 5 players for those 2 positions in the middle of the infield that are either on the team or coming soon. And I think it's fair, Shorzy, to be somewhat excited about Scope. I really do. I think in target field, playing with this group of guys, I think he's got a chance to have to be a comeback player here.
Great stuff from Roy. We've had a lot of baseball to talk about. We haven't talked about music or movies or TV shows or the Lebowski lately, and I haven't gotten any book recommendations lately, which I need to get because I had actually.
Did you start the commitments? Did you start that Barrytown trilogy? You got to. I'm telling you,
I need to do that. That's what I'm going to be on a flight. I'm going to go buy that. By the way, I was in Delano's the other night doing the Russo show, and somebody came up to me. And usually when they come up, they want to talk hockey at that show. And he came up and said, "I just want to thank you for the." Gentleman in Moscow recommendation. It was incredible. And I can't tell you how many people I've heard that from. I need to find Well, now I got the commitment. It's good. So I get something I can read on the way to Mexico.
That's not in the same
No.
genre at all. You will find yourself embarrassed on the airplane because you will be putting the book down and laughing out loud, and before you pick it up again and do it again. It's wonderful stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, oh yeah, what condition, my condition.